Have you written a book and you are trying to get it published? Great, me too. If you've been keeping up with my videos recently, you probably know that I just finished the preliminary editing process for my YA contemporary manuscript, and I'm getting it ready to send to agents and publishers. You might have also heard the term query letter kind of thrown around. I'm saying that I've been working on my query letter. If you're not familiar, a query letter is one piece of the publication materials that you are supposed to send to agents and publishers if you want to ask for representation for your book. I've got my query letter to a point that I'm happy with it, and I'm sending it out to some trusted people so that they can take a look at it, see if they think it represents my story well, if it will land well with agents. A lesser known piece of the publication package, though, is called a synopsis. Now, if you've written a query letter, you're probably thinking, wait, I wrote a synopsis in my query letter. And to a certain degree, that's true, you did. If an agent or a publisher asks for a synopsis in addition to your query letter, what they're asking for is a document of a certain length, and they usually provide the length, that essentially tells all of the major story beats of your story from beginning to end, telling them like what happens at the end and everything. They just want a walkthrough of your story. And like I said, that can come in different lengths. I have one that is 500 words, and I also have one that's 150 words. It really just depends on the agent or publishing house and what they want. Since I'm working on my synopsis today, I thought that I'd take you guys on that piece of the journey with me. The thing about my synopsis is it's actually already written, but it's written for a very different version of my book that I have since edited the mess out of. Like, I've taken out major story beats and replaced them with other things. I think that I ended up taking out like 5,000 words of the manuscript in total since this was written, so I'm editing it to get it ready for my publication package. I finished the first edit of the 500 word synopsis, and I think it's good. I'm gonna reread it and then send it to a friend of mine. She can look at it with a fresh pair of eyes. But then I got down to the 150 word synopsis and I was reading it, and then I saw something I had to change and my brain just went, ugh. What I'm trying for my synopsis is just to name the emotions. Like, don't give any, details about how they necessarily manifest themselves in anything, but just give the emotions and then say the action or plot development that those emotions lead to from the main character's perspective. This article by Jane Freeman, which I will name in the description, gives a good breakdown of what I was just saying. I finally have some semblance of a workable, shorter synopsis, but it is actually 225 words and not 150. So I'm gonna send it to my friend and see if she has any insight on how I can make it shorter. Like if there are details that I'm focusing on that are unnecessary that I just don't realize or what have you. But I'm just tired of looking at it.